Most welcome to the start of a busy weekend of racing locally, and it is, of course, today, Friday, the double-header that takes place, and most definitely looks like Durbanville, brought forward from Wednesday, is going to be running side by side with our Polytrack meeting coming through from Gqeberha. Fairview Racecourse is where we'll have an 8-race program, and that is the focus of this preview. Of course, you can get in touch with us via our handle, that's X handle, or our WhatsApp number. It is, of course, a Weighted to Win, proudly brought to you by the new home of PSL, that is Betway, as well as the new home, or the current home of the Summer Cup, which has now got an improved purse of 6 million rand, and that takes place at the end of November. Without further ado, let us now look ahead to that bipod first leg. Starts race number 1, first of 8, and we've got our man on the other side of the line who will be giving us his thoughts. But in race number 1, we've had a pretty important scratching come through this morning, and that is number 2, Best Intention, that has been scratched. But the favorite that is remaining, the 4, Ice Cap, who's had the 1 run in Gqeberha. A very good run on the poly, stays on the poly, and we should see Ice Cap confirm that Muzi Yeni retains the ride for Gavin Smith. There has been support for the 8, Fantasy Girl, that's her second favorite, has had the very good run on the poly, 2 runs back. It looks 7 1/4 lengths to be too far behind, but Sweet and True won a good race. Now, Nina Podesta, a very good morning to you. It seems a lifetime away, and it's only last Friday when we were talking, and of course it was the lead up to a very rough day at Fairview on the turf.
Yeah, good morning, Cecil. Yeah, last week wasn't a very good day for us, but that's racing, and we're going to carry on and try and turn the form around.
All right, so we box on. Let's get straight into that bipod. Its first leg off at 25 past 12. And what do we do here?
For those that are with a limited budget can bank a number 4. I really like the look of this horse, Ice Cap. A very impressive run last time, first up on the poly. Muzi stays on the horse from a good draw of number 2. I think he's going to take all the beating. And then the obvious dangers are Queen of Palace, that ran just behind him last time out, and Fantasy Girl.
Okay, so you're going to 3 horses, 4, 5, 8. It is an off time of 12.25, and that is an outlay of 216 rand to that first leg of the bipod. 25 past 12, bear that time in mind. All right, just to confirm, we do talk about that double-header taking place today. It is Durbanville, and of course our focal point for this preview, that is Gqeberha racing on the polytrack of Fairview Racecourse. Sean Veal, who had been carded to ride in Durbanville on Wednesday, obviously he knows where his bread is buttered. He will be riding in PE, and the converse, it is Louis Mqotwa, who was carded to ride in PE today, has decided to stick with his engagements in the Western Cape at Durbanville. Case in point, race number 1, just in case you had missed it, is Smanga Commando deputizers for Louis. And now we move on to race number 2. Louis didn't have any engagements, and in race number 2, the favorite, a short one, and has been shortened in further. There's the 1 Coral Creek at 16 to 10. The 3 Golden Gallant is at 19 to 10. And then there's been a nibble at the 4 House of Sussex, and a big upon King's the Sailor, that's in the colours of Mr. Ackerman, and that is into 6 to 1. So you've decided to go the safe route, and I really do agree with that. 1 and 3 Coral Creek, Alan Khreef, Sean Veal, and Golden Gallant, Sharon Kotson, and Philisa Ndemtole.
Yes, I think it's a boat race between the 2. As you can see, last time out over course and distance, there was nothing in between them. But Coral Creek now comes from a 1 draw, and that's going to be my very narrow first choice to beat the 3 from a draw number 1.
And of course, you labelled James Fitzjames, who beat both of them last time out and came good for us on that particular day. So it is the PA starting race 2. It's a 4racing.tv Open Maiden. It's over the 1,300 meters. 5 to 1 is the time to be on a buy, or else you miss out on that popular bet, the PA. Yes, so just talking about those jockey arrangements in race number 3, the 4, Cheer For Me is, or she's that Cherry For Me, that is now Philisa Ndemtole teaming up with Jacques Stratum. Louis recently back from holiday. He will be staying in the Western Cape to ride at Durbanville. All right, so that is a play. Soccer 6, 10 and 13. Philisa Mayor's 92 handicap is over the 1400 meters, and three horses dominate the betting, and they are the one Go Check with Love, the three Montalina, and the seven Red Sash. It's the middle name, the Montalina, who is now backed in from 15 to 10 to evens. Number seven Red Sash, that has been also nibbled into 5 to 2, and then the one Go Check with Love is at 3 to 1. Now is at the three runs in Quebec and has gone up 14 points since those two wins and a fourth placing. That's one of your three horses in the PA, Mr. Podesta. What about the pick six? What are we doing here?
In the pick six, I've added the number 2 Essential and number 5 Strange Magic. Just don't want to go out, but I do believe that Montalina is the horse to beat here. She's going to love the step up to the 1400. She's 3 kilos better off, and she beat Go Check with Love behind Miss Green Light. So she has to be the horse to beat. I've got healthy respect for Go Check with Love, even though she's going over extra 200 meters, and she's out at the weights with both Montalina and Red Sash. So those are the three, with Montalina being my first choice.
Okay, so that will be the first leg of the pick six, and we start off with a very competitive fillies and mares, a 92, and that should be off at 1:30. Thanks so much, Nino Podesta, adding in the 2 and the 5 to the numbers that he had in the bipot and the place accumulator. All right, so it is congratulations so far for those owners who have managed to acquire the lots that they went particularly for at the 2-year-old sales. There were some big lots go under the hammer, and of course race 4 appropriately is named the Racehorse Owners Association Graduation Plate. It's over the 1100 meters, and I'm sure some would like to find another Gimme's Lassie, who is in the red in race number 4. That is the 3. 13 to 20 is number 3 Gimme's Lassie, in from 7 to 10. Others in single digits, the 2 Executor is at 4 to 1. Number 1 Adea is at 7 to 1. 7 to 1 is the 6 Abound. And then it's 9 to 1 about the 8 White Hills, having a first run in the province, formerly with Roy Magna, now with Mr. Johanna Nell, and it still retains the silks of the Breeders' Vilkebos Drift. All right, Gimme's Lassie has done hardly anything wrong, and you're confident that this could be the right one as far as the bipot and the PA at that price. Obviously, it has to be, but I mean, people like me always try and beat these horses to our downfall.
Yeah, I mean, she's absolutely slunging at the weights, Cecil, and she's going to be a very, very hard horse to beat.
Yes.
Even though she's jumping from a number 8 draw. That's the only slight concern, but she should be too strong for this field.
Indeed. Yeah, Craig yet to win on it, but certainly does look a standout. Is how many points clear off the second place horse? 13 points. That's the best bet for Nino. Gimme's Lassie. And now let's go to that jackpot and no prizes for guessing. It is a banker, the 3 in the first leg. And then race number 7, there is a banker, and that is the number 1 in race number 7. Let us confirm who that one is in quite a big field of 13 runners, and that would be King's Regent. That's in our feature, the Nelson Mandela Bay Racing Poly Challenge, and that's over the 1200 meters. Race 4 gets underway at 2:05. All right, we're getting into the second half of an 8-race program, and of course, talking about seconds. It is the second full weekend of the newly started 2024-2025 season in the UK. That is the EPL, and of course, the best place to get the best value for soccer is, of course, that Betway app, and of course, they will soon be launching that local league, and that is in the middle of September. Right, there are our contact details, our X-handle, as well as our WhatsApp number. Let's get into a bit of betting for race number 5, and the one Bethel is at 33 to 10. Clifford Miller and Informer Marco van Rensburg. A bit of a nibble at the 3 Lady Crusade, 7 to 2 now, 15 to 4 the 2 Notorix, and then the 4 William the First has also found a bit of support in to 4 to 1. All right, Mr. Podesta, tab Telebet 0861 000822 merit rate is 72. A bit more challenging than one or two of the races we've discussed so far. Is over the 1,000 meters. And the top of your list, how would you have it in the pecking order?
Yeah, this is quite a trappy little race. It's a small field and anything could happen here. My first choice in the race is a horse called William the First from a one draw with Muzieni up. He's got gate speed. I know he's been running over longer distances early in his career, but he showed me last time that he's got gate speed. So the drop to the 1,000 doesn't really concern me. I do make Lady Crusade a big danger and then Bethel. But in the pick six, I've added a bit of an outsider, a horse called Anushka's World. I know she's out at the weight. She shouldn't be able to beat Bethel, but I've just added that in because I know something. They paid a lot of money at the early sale for her.
Yes, and you've always had a bit of a soft spot for Anushka's World. Last time it ran as well, you did tell us to look for it. There wasn't a disgrace. That's 3 lengths behind Articuno. So there is that full permutation for race number 5. In its fullest, it'll cost you 32 Rand, and that bank once again, King Regent in race number 7. That'll be leg 3 of Jackpot 2. We move on to the last chance to get involved in the pick 3, race number 6, the Racing 244 Racing. It's a Fillies and Mares 76, and just looking at what is a pretty trappy affair, although there's one horse that a lot of people would have put in their notebooks on local debut, and that was the one of Valeria's Dream. Ex-Peter Muscat and ran second to a very useful sort in the form of My Best Shot. The 2 Cabaret, that is in the betting at 11-2. Number 4, Concerto, slightly shorter from the Yen ownership that had a pretty good afternoon outfit yesterday in the KZN region. That is Hollywood Silk, so the 4, Concerto. Now 5-1 is the 5 at Treasure Hunt, so numbers 4 and 5 at 5-1. The 6 is at 7-1. It is 15-2 and better about those. Just one more at 5-1, and that is the 9, Bow Color and Lady Tiptree. That is also in single digits at 11-2. So it tells you about the race itself. But Valeria's Dream, I see they've changed a bit of the equipment. They've taken the earmuffs on and they've put the compression mask on the Gavin Smith and new inmate Craig Zaki, recently back, just a couple of meetings back, and he gets the ride.
Yes, Cecil, and you've summed it up very well. She was a very impressive second last time behind a very good horse in the form of My Best Shot. So that is definitely the horse to beat. She was having the first run on the poly from Durban, and it looks like she loved the surface. So definitely the horse to beat. But there are others with chances, and I think a horse like Treasure Hunt, which caught my eye with the booking of Louis McCoxwell, but he's not riding it now, and they put Calvin Habib on. I think that could cause an upset from a one draw. Obviously, horses like Bowcaller and Lady Tiptree have to be respected. But Valeria's Dream, the horse to beat.
All right, so you've gone with the 1, you've gone with the 2 Cabaret, you've gone with the 5, whom you make a bit of an upset, was the Treasure Hunt, again in the colours of Mr. Willem Ackerman, and the 9, Bow Color. Kelly Mitchley with the services of Sandy Lekati. Just confirmed, deputizing for Louis on the 5 Treasure Hunt will be Calvin Habib. That's the start of the last pick 3. All right, so our non-black type feature comes in the form of race 7, the penultimate event in the afternoon, which means it's also a last chance to get involved in a double in Quebec this afternoon. Nelson Mandela Bay Racing Poly Challenge. It's over the 1,200 meters, and we've already let the cat out of the bag by giving you those selections, those permutations from Nino in that penultimate leg of the pick 6. He's bank at the 1. In the penultimate leg of Jackpot 2, he's bank at the 1. And in the ultimate leg of Jackpot 1, he is bank at the 1. It comes in the form of King Regent. Glenn Coston rating, and no stranger to rating on these occasions, and renews rivalries with a horse that is at any price. That is a perfection. But King Regent is at 2-1. Looking at the likely rivals as far as the bookies are concerned, well, they come in the form of the 9 Miss Greenlight and those familiar Cheryl Silks. Sean Beale gets a ride from the Alan Crave stable. That is at 4-1. 6-1 is another consistent sort at 10 Passion Dale. That is at 6-1, and then after that you're getting double figures about the rest. All right, so King Regent, At the last time, 24th of March last year, when meeting Perfection, and the King Regent actually being beaten by Perfection by 5 lengths, has gone up that £7. Perfection has gone up £12, but the form in recent times has not been as impressive and consistent as King Regent's.
Yes, Cecil, I make this one of my better bets on the card. And again, under the conditions of this race, he should have this real stone cold. He ran level weights and beat Princess Carla. So, that tells you a lot. Maybe Princess Carla wasn't at the best at that day, but you still got to have ability to beat a filly as good as her. So I think this horse is going to take all the beating. And Perfection went to Durban and his form has gone backwards. So and that was a 1600 anyway.
Yeah.
I think King Regent is better over the 1250, and he's going to be very, very hard to beat. I've laid my colours to the mast and I've banked him.
All right.
Obviously, you have respect for Miss Greenlight.
All right, Passchendaele, Miss Greenlight, those would be the two that should make up the exacta. Are you saying that?
Yes.
All right, that's good enough. King Regent, you don't want to know? You've nailed your colours to the mast, so that's the second one. Gimmy's Lassie and King Regent, those are the two best bets up for Nina. That is race 7, our non-black type feature. All right, so we round off Weighted to Win, proudly brought to you by Betway, as far as looking ahead to racing from Quebec this afternoon by talking about race 8 and next Fairview race meeting. It is not too far away, Tuesday, and that is the 27th of October, merit at 82. Now, not surprising, the money has come in for another Glenn Coston raid, and that is in the form of the 9, My Bestie, and that has been nibbled into 2-1 in that form line of that last run, a third behind Holding Thumbs, who was so impressive last Saturday in that truncated meeting at Durbanville. That is the form that really has stood out in this race. That is at 2-1. 5-1 is the One Fateful Day, the 3 Golden Link. Please note, Golden Link is now partnered by Konani Ndlovu. Charles Ndlovu is at 5-1. 8-1 is the 4 El Romiachi. The 5 Euphoric is at 9-1. And then, of course, another one in single digits that has to be heeded is number 10 of Fujisan, and that is at 6-1. Your swingers, Charlie Ndlovu, picked up the ride on one of your swinger horses, a Golden Link, and that, of course, is coupled with number 9, My Bestie, as far as the combination for that swinger goes, Mr. Podesta.
Yes, Cecil, and don't get put off by the fact that Charles Ndlovu is deputizing for Luna Cox, because
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Charlie. Yeah.
And so am I. I like Charlie Ndlovu. I'm also a very big fan of him. Have a look, the last time he rode Golden Link, it actually won by 5.5 lengths. But My Bestie, as you pointed out, the form behind Holding Thumbs and the run behind Kelp Forest makes this horse to beat. I don't think she's taken on a strong field. So I think she's the horse to beat, and I think Glenn Cotton could double, but Golden Link could be the nearest danger.
Nino, it's been a great pleasure. We look forward to talking Tuesday racing with you sooner. That is back in at Quebec for now. Enjoy the weekend, and hopefully racing does carry on in that part of the world and today and tomorrow.